Hey guys, Marco here, back once again from mycolorscreen, where we bring you easy to follow, complete Android home screen tutorials that help make your phone look amazing. So let us begin with today's simple video tutorial. Let us begin. Alrighty, let's jump right in and have a closer look at this fantastic looking screen. As you can see, it's called Google Grid by the author. I'm not going to say his name because I know for a fact that I'm going to get it wrong, but it's over here. So it's called Google Grid for the simple fact that it's got a similar take on a Windows 8 feel mixed with, well, simply the new Google effects, the Google style. So what sets it apart is that it looks good now, but what sets it apart is, well, let me just show you, is, well, pretty much this. It's got a complete scrollable screen here. You've got your icons that stay on the left hand side. They say still, well, everything else here can move. And as always, if you tap something, say for your camera, it'll open up your camera. How cool is that? If you got your Gmail, you can tap bring up your Gmail. Got your maps right here, bringing it up. It looks really, really good. So you got your information at the top, as well as your jump to shortcuts in the middle, and then your application drawer, which actually brings up your Nova launcher over here. So, well, whatever launcher you want it to. As many people don't really like that ssLauncher application drawer, so a lot of people prefer Nova, so let's just go with that. So if you'd like to know how to set up this amazing looking home screen, then you definitely want to check out today's video tutorial. Let us begin right now. Awesome, so for this setup I'll be using ssLauncher just to get that scrollable feel. You're welcome to use another launcher such as Lightning Launcher just to get that scrollable feel, but I do feel that ssLauncher is a lot more user friendly and it'll get the job done a lot quicker. You're welcome to try, say, Apex Launcher, Nova Launcher, Holo Launcher, but those guys, they just simply ain't gonna cut it because of that scrolling effect. You just can't get it with those launchers. So you're definitely gonna be using ssLauncher, the original, just to get rid of these top labels at the top and a few other useful features that come with the paid version. You definitely wanna go check out that paid version. I highly recommend it. Also, take note that before you begin, you definitely want to transfer the files that are just listed in the description below onto your phone. They'll just help. If it comes in a .rar file, you definitely just want to unrar them just so you have that folder on your phone. You can either download it directly onto your computer and then onto your phone, or straight onto your phone, whatever suits you best. But I do recommend getting a good file explorer just so you can unrar it as it's in a .rar format. So just keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it. We're going to be jumping now into our ssLauncher settings. Let us begin. Great, so as you can see for this ssLauncher, I made it completely stock. I reset all the settings, so let us begin with the top over here. If we hold down on this home labels, remember you do need the paid version, otherwise you can't get those labels away. You want to scroll down at the bottom and you want to select hide labels and apply changes, and they now disappear, which is what we want. Next thing you want to do is get rid of any widgets or icons that are on the screen already, such as these phone and browser ones. They're very easy. Just hold down and drag them into that bin at the top. Very simple to do. Next, we're going to be jumping in, if we select back or menu, to get into our main ssLauncher settings here. We can go right into our preferences. From here, we do want to select full screen. We don't need that notification bar at the top. It just gets in the way. So just select back and you'll now see it's gone. Now, a good thing to take note is that you can get rid of all these other pages unless you do really want them, as the one that you'll only be using is that home page, as we'll be using the Nova Launcher, Apex Drawer, or whatever other launcher drawer, that application drawer that you prefer. So if you want to get rid of pages, very easy to do. As you can see here, the pages listed like this. You just need to select the bin under the corresponding page and it gets rid of them like that. So you can just select all of them and you can just get rid of them one by one. But I do recommend just leaving applications there for now, as we're going to be doing a little bit of side trickery just to get the icons onto that left hand side. It's just a little bit of a shortcut, so you can get rid of it, but I will leave it in for now. So we can get rid of our bookmarks, get rid of our credits, and just leave these two pages remaining. That's all we need. So if we select back, we should just have now a blank screen ready for the wallpaper. Awesome, so for the wallpaper, very easy to set up, and the author has been very kind enough to provide us with different varieties of wallpaper depending on what phone you have. So what you want to do, make sure that you've copied that folder onto your phone, and let's say go into whatever wallpaper app that you prefer. I always like to go with Quick Pick. From here, you want to look for the folder that's called wallpaper. As you can see, he's provided 4 different varieties of phone resolutions depending on what phone you have. So good thing that I've got a Nexus 4. I'm going to be going for that 768 by 1184, which is this one over here. I just need to select it now, and if you're using Quick Pick, it should hopefully take up that entire screen. If not, you might want to try out a different phone's resolution, try get a best fit. So just need to select the tick. It's going to set that wallpaper up for you. Should look pretty white and dull, but don't worry, we're going to be adding stuff onto it right now with all of the ssLauncher shortcuts. Great, so for these ssLauncher shortcuts, it's quite easy to do. I'm just going to do 1 or 2 and then you can just do the rest, as it's pretty much a repeatable process. So we're going to be starting off at the top here. You're going to hold down on the home screen and select new shortcut. From here, we're just going to leave type as application. Don't need to touch any of this now, but we do want to be changing the style. So we're going to select style now, and we want it to be the one just with the icon. From here, we want to go into background this time, as that's right, we're going to be adding in a background image, not changing the icon. The icon, we're going to be making it blank. So from here, we're going to select background image, and it should be all blank, but we're going to be adding to this now. So we're going to select add an image and then go whatever gallery app that you prefer. Like I said, I'm just going to stick with Quick Pick for now. So we've got all of our tiles here. We've got our 1080 here. That's still in beta, but I'm just going to go for the one called tile, as that's one I used and they seem to work out pretty well. Now this blank one here is going to be that first tile that we saw at the top that came with all of our time and weather information. So we're just going to be selecting that one there and it should appear. Now all you have to do is select it and it'll set it for you, and you want to select apply settings. Now what you want to do is make an icon a transparent icon. So you're going to select the icon, go into icon at the top and then select add an image. Same process here, except instead of selecting an icon it's per se, we want to be making it a blank or transparent icon, a blank PNG you could call it. So we want to be selecting a blank PNG. Remember, check in the description below for one that I've provided. We just need to select it now and select it again, and then always remember, always remember to select apply settings, otherwise it will not set it up for you. So pretty much you should be having a little background there that doesn't look like anything, as that's what we wanted. We just want it to be a little tile and not to have any purpose whatsoever. However, when it comes to the later ones, we'll be selecting different apps for them to open. So it's just been placed here. It's probably a lot too easy to see with this brightness that I've currently got going on. But let's just see if I look in a bit closer, it is basically the padding or the tile that has been set at the top. Remember, it's not very easy to see as it's only a slight difference from the background. But I'm going to be resizing it so it takes up that top block here. Don't worry too much about how large it should be, but you just want to be getting it as close as possible, just leaving some gaps around the top and right hand side, as well as this little sidebar here. So just make sure you got a little bit of spacing there and tap away and you should be good to go. But now comes the fun part. As with ssLauncher, it makes things a whole lot easier. You could be using a desktop visualizer widget to replicate this, but the good thing about ssLauncher is that everybody likes to be lazy and we can copy and paste pretty much anything that is built into ssLauncher. So all we'd have to do is hold down on the skin here, select copy over here, and then hold down and select paste. Now it's going to replicate that exact same image or background image that we just placed, but we don't want that. We want those other ones, those cool looking Gmail, the maps, the news, whatever else we want. So the good thing now is that these can be edited right off the bat, so we just need to hold down on them, select edit, and from here we're going to start to change the target, because before we just left it, probably say change it to blank, that one later, but for now we're just going to be changing these targets. So the first one is our Gmail, so we're going to scroll down and select Gmail like that. Next thing, because our icon's still going to be left blank, but we still want to be changing our background, as that's the most important thing here. We're going to go into our background image, that one's right there. We want to select add an image and go back into your gallery that you prefer. From here you want to go back into your tiles and let's go for Gmail, that one that we just selected. So we're going to be selecting Gmail once again, and then don't forget to say apply settings, and don't worry that it's made it look quite smudgy pudgy. So from here we're going to select apply settings, and now we have a big fat Gmail one that we just want to resize and make it look a little bit slimmer. So from here it's starting to take shape. But the good thing about this is that, as you can see, if you just made it the icon, it wouldn't like change the size of it or the proportions of it at all. It would stay in one tiny little spot there. Now what you want to do is make sure that it takes up roughly half of this first one that you added, as you're going to be putting ones next to each other, carrying on all the way to the bottom. So from here, we're going to be copying this one now as it's just a better shape than this one over here. It's more of a longer rectangle going down. So instead of copying and pasting this one again, we're going to hold down on this one and select copy and then select paste, just like that, and see how it turns out. So as shown previously, well, shown in the little clip earlier, we're going to be selecting the maps one. So we go into our edit here, go into our target, and instead of selecting Gmail, we'll be selecting maps just like that. We're going to go into our background. Always remember, it's only going to be changing your target and your background image. So we just go into background image, add an image, find where you've pasted all the icons, well, tiles, and this time we'll go for maps. So we'll just select it again and then select apply settings. Scroll a bit down, apply settings again, and Bob's your uncle, it's set up perfectly like that. We just need to move it a little bit down, and easy as that. Now I'm just going to do it one more time, as it's still really easy to do. We just need to hold down again, select paste once again. As you can see, that guide pops up, which under like between the Gmail, so I'm going to be using that one just to help me out. There it is. So we just need to select back, hold down on it, select edit, select target. This is go for something like news and weather. Change your background. Remember, background image only. Add an image. Look for that image that you've pasted onto your phone. So we're going to tile. Let's select our news one like that. Select it again. Select apply and then apply again. It's so quick, it's almost illegal. So we're just going to move it down a little bit. And look how good it's looking already. They're already getting set up. It's very easy to add. However, you might get a little bit stuck when you want to start making it scroll. All you'd have to do, I'm just going to show you quickly now, is select paste at the bottom here. And just get it into a little bit position like this. And just move it up a little. And then it just starts scrolling automatically like that. So you don't have to worry about that. As long as you can just get into a little bit of a gap at the bottom and select paste, it will allow you to scroll, and there it is. So it's pretty easy to do. Great, so once you've added in all your different shortcuts here, you just want to be adding in that application drawer jump to icon, well, tile at the bottom. So as always, you just want to make sure there's a little bit of gap, select paste, get this one to the bottom so we can just hold it down and get it more or less there. And now we want to be selecting edit again, same old story, but for now your type, you want to be selecting others. From here we want to select our target. Now depending on what launcher that you prefer, I'm just going to be sticking with Nova Launcher from here. Is that now you want to select your Nova Launcher or your preferred launcher and then select app drawer, providing that it comes with an app drawer icon. So that means that selecting that will open up your Nova Launcher app drawer, which makes it look much better. So same old thing, go into our background image, add an image, choose that image or find that image that you have or that you want. It's going to be this Android one, and we just need to select it and then apply settings, and then apply settings once again. So we're just going to scroll down. It's going to be a little bit too squished, so we just want to resize it so that it takes up the entire bottom here. So that looks good. We can scroll down, we can just double check. If you select that app thing here, it will now open up your Nova Launcher app drawer, which is what we want. Remember, you can just push your menu button here at the bottom just to get back into your pages like this. So once that's been added, we are going to now jump into adding in the rest of the icons here, or the shortcuts. It's a little bit different, ssLauncher. It's a bit hard to explain, but pretty much you'll be adding in a shortcut, but the text or the title will be displaying your time, your battery percentage, your date, etc. So in order to do that, very easy to do, as it's at the top here, we just want to shift this down a bit just to get some space so we can work here. So we want to hold down on this now blank space. We want to select new shortcuts. Now we're not going to select anything here. We're going to jump straight into our title. Now what we want to do is select our text. And the first thing we want to be doing is selecting our time, or adding in our time. Now it's not too easy to understand what to do for that time. But as you can see, if we select dates, it brings up with a whole list of little date settings that we can now change. Great, so if we select a little drop down menu here, I'm just going to be selecting the time one for now, just leave it in 24 hours. If we scroll down, you can see what it looks like that. So now we're going to be changing the font, what it looks like. If we go into our font family, as you can see, there's not too many fonts here. We want to be selecting add a font. Now we're going to be adding in that font, that Roboto Thin, that you hopefully have on your phone. If not, you definitely want to make sure, copy it onto your phone right now. So I'm just going to be selecting, here it is, Roboto Thin. It's now been added. We want to select it now. From here, we want to change the color to black. So we just need to look for a text color and then make it pure black and then select the color. So scrolling down a bit, we can now see what it is. It's looking coming together. From here, we want to change our font size, make it slightly bigger. Now, if we just select font size like this, it brings up this little menu here. It's a lot easier to use than that slider. I don't really enjoy that slide at all. But let's say go for something like a 25 and see what that looks like. We can always edit it later. So I'm just going to select apply settings, scroll down, apply settings once again. As you can see, here is the time. If we resize it, it's going to stay that set size, that font size that we have selected. So I think it's a little bit too small. So as always, you can just hold down, select edit, go into your title, go into the font size, and then say make it something like, let's go for a 35, see what that looks like. Okay, go apply settings, and then it is a little bit bigger. And it's good for now. Now what you want to be doing is to add in the rest. I'm not going to be showing you those as they're pretty much the same. Instead of under text, instead of selecting the time one, you'll be selecting still the date, but now you have to add them in one by one. It'll be for the day of the week as well as the date, and then the battery percentage below that, with each of them decreasing the size of the font. Real easy to do, so just going to be doing that right now. Great, so I've added in all the appropriate text here. You can also add in, like I said, for calls, missed SMSs and missed emails as well. It's going to be exactly the same format. Instead of just saying date, for example, or battery percentage, you'll just be selecting missed calls and then just adding in calls, the text in that editing window. So just remember that, and this space them more or less like this. It doesn't have to be exact, as now you can be doing that right now. All you'd have to do is now place this tile at the top here again. Select back now and hold down on it. You can say select to back and it'll send it to the back, which is what we want. So we can now judge exactly how to get the perfect sizing. This looks pretty good. So the only thing we want to be doing now is to be adding in that UCCW skin over there just to finish off this tile. So once again, we'll just move it away, hold down on this area and select new widget. Great, so in order to add this UCCW skin, just scroll to the bottom. We're going to go into UCCW. Doesn't really matter what size you go for. Let's just make it something like a 2x2, just to make things nice and simple. From here, we want to be selecting use zip and then going into that folder that you've definitely copied onto your phone that provides you with that use zip. It's only going to be one, and it's called Google Grid Weather. Gonna select it now. It's gonna be importing it onto your home screen. We just need to select back and select the hand just so that it appears all well and good. Make sure that your UCCW editor is off, otherwise you'd have to be going into UCCW from your app drawer, selecting it, going into your menu like this, going into your menu, lock widgets, and make sure that it's off just so you can get into this editor here. Now I did find that the temperature was a bit off, so you just need to go into your select or your background here, which brings up your select object list, going into your current temperature, going into your position, and then just selecting faster movement so it'll be a little bit quicker, and getting it more or less directly underneath the whatever weather you have got going on for you. You're also welcome to add in your own suffix, so if you want to add in centigrade or Fahrenheit, you can just select C like that, just to make things a little bit more personalized. So you can just position it a bit better again. Let's get it like that, up like that. That looks much better. Now remember, if you want to get into Fahrenheit or Celsius, remember just go into your menu here, go into your settings, and then say either select or deselect Celsius / kilometers per hour. Have that selected or deselected. Just keep that in mind. So that's been done. You're welcome to make it a hotspot. So in order to do that, we're just going to back into our select object list, select hotspots here. As you can see, the author has used his own hotspot. I don't think a lot of people will be having this weather app. I'm not even sure what it is. But in order to change that, we just need to select hotspot, select app. And then we definitely want to be choosing our preferred weather app. as that's what we want. We're going to be selecting Iron Skywolf. I am, because I really enjoy that. Definitely want to go check out our top 5 weather widgets and see why this did so well. So from here, that looks good. It's going to be opening up Iron Sky when we select that. So all we'd have to do now is go back into our menu, or menu at the bottom if you don't have a Nexus 4. Go into your lock widgets and then turn it on. Simple as that. Now, just selecting it will open up your weather, whatever app that you want. So that is good. That is what we want. We can now move this back over here, as now we can now select back. And I do think that looks a lot better. There's only one more thing to do, and that's going to be adding in these icons on the side here. So we just need to wrap things off. What we're going to be doing now is going back now, going into our theme, and then going into our icon pack. Now it's going to take a while to load up because it's got quite a few icon packs here, but you definitely want to be selecting the one here called, I think it's called mycolorscreen. Yeah, you just want to be selecting that. It's going to set up your icon pack for you. Great, so I've now selected that mycolorscreen icon pack. As you can see, this is what it looks like. It looks really funky, and it's pretty much exactly the same icons that we'd be applying onto the side here. So this is just a quick way of doing it. Say for Facebook, we just want to hold down, drag it across to over here into any slot you want it, and just be the one selecting the one with just the icon, no text. Now all you'd have to do is just simply resize it so that it's slightly smaller, and then get it into a good looking area. Then all you'd have to do is to add in each one of the cool looking mycolorscreen icons that have come with the pack onto here. Remember, if that pack doesn't show up, switch to another icon pack and then back to that one. I just had the trouble now of it wasn't showing anything over here. So just switch it and then switch it back to mycolorscreen icons, and they should be showing up. So you can add in these ones like this, or you can do it exactly the same method like this, and then instead of just selecting the background image, you'd be selecting the one that's the icon, or you can just make it the icon type as well. So I'm just going to be adding in each one of these over here. So once you've added in each one of these icons here, they look all well and good and all, but one thing will happen now is when you slide, they will all go the same way. So one thing you want to do is to hold down on one of them, say for this chrome one here, and you want to select pin. Now you just want to be doing this for every one of them, holding down, selecting pin, as now they will stay in place and they will not move anywhere. And there we have our home screen completed. Everything stays still on the side here, but everything here scrolls and looks amazing. Thank you very much guys for watching this home screen tutorial. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you liked it, please give us a little thumbs up, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much guys for watching. Don't forget to check out our Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and Instagram communities. And this is Marco here from mycolorscreen. And as always, don't stop customizing.